Hey, you're here with Ben, and if you're planning a trip to Germany, then you're in the right place because Near From Home has your back. Germany is an amazing country full of incredible experiences, and honestly, it's not the hardest country in the world to travel. But that being said, there are still a fair few things you need to know before you go, which is where we come in. Camille and I have lived in Munich for 6 years now, working, integrating, and most importantly, traveling as much as possible. And in that time, we've picked up some tips and tricks that even seasoned travelers might not know of. So let us offer our locals' perspective. Today, I've collected a top 10 list of the most essential tips I tell all my friends and family before they arrive in Deutschland. From public transit gotchas to essential cultural etiquette, these tips will make your trip smoother, more fun, and a whole lot more local. Stick around to see which ones surprise you, and let me know in the comments which tips you found most helpful. But without further ado, let's dive in. Number 1. Public transit is fantastic. Don't let the complaints fool you. Germany has one of the best public transit systems in the world. Trains, trams, and buses connect even the smallest villages. There is little more you need here to make all of your travel dreams come true than a train ticket. Trust me, we've made over 100 videos in Germany by now, and I've needed a car maybe 3 times. So what's your excuse? Now sure, Germans might complain about delays, and rightly so. They happen more often than they should. But let's be frank, compared to many other countries, this is still fantastic and more than reliable enough for your vacation. For tourists, I recommend downloading the DB Navigator app. It's in English, it lets you plan routes, has all the most accurate timetables, even with the delays, and you can even buy your tickets on there too. Though if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, I do have a detailed video on that as well. For day tickets, weekly tickets, group tickets, and the incredible €49 Deutschland subscription, public transit is the easiest and most economical way to get wherever you need to go. That being said, if you're still set on renting a car, I won't hold it against you, but make sure you actually drive somewhere off the beaten path. Nothing bothers me more than tourists driving along the train tracks. What a waste. For inspiration, check out my driving tips and Germany's best driving roads videos after this one, of course. Number 2. Beer festivals are more than just the Oktoberfest. Everyone knows about the world-famous Oktoberfest here in Munich. And don't get me wrong, there is no substitute for the world's largest folk festival. However, what makes me sad is how few people know that Germany is alive with the sound of beer festivals from April till October. People miss the forest for the one big tree. And frankly, travel guides just don't do their job in spreading the word either, except for me. These festivals are hard to find, making them true hidden gems and unmissable bucket list experiences for anyone who really wants to know what it feels like to live and party in Bavaria. One of my absolute favorites is the Almabtrieb, where farmers celebrate bringing their cows down from the alpine pastures with parades, music, and of course, plenty of beer. But we've been to so many festivals on this channel by now that it's just really hard to pick a favorite. These little festivals are often far less crowded than the Oktoberfest and feel so much more authentic. So if that interests you, I've got tons of videos detailing my beer festival adventures. Check them all out after this. And if you're trying to plan your trip around a festival and having a little bit of trouble, Camille and I offer itinerary checks on our website, linked on screen now, to help you put together the perfect trip. We'll hop on a Zoom call together, and in 20 to 45 minutes, we'll hash it all out, go day by day, and make sure you have the best plan possible. Number 3. Sundays are for rest. Plan accordingly. Germany takes Sundays seriously, even more so in my home of Bavaria. Most shops, supermarkets, and businesses are completely closed. This can catch travelers majorly off guard and put you in a pretty sticky situation, especially if you're used to running errands or shopping on the weekends. In Bavaria, the rule is even stricter. Not only are most things closed on Sundays, but after 8 p.m. every day as well. If you need groceries or even medication from the pharmacy, make sure to stock up by Saturday, because on Sunday you'll be out of luck. Don't worry about being bored though. Restaurants and cafes will still be open, as will some museums. But the goal of the German rest day is to rest. So when in Germany, do as the Germans do. Go for a hike, sit in the park, chill at a cafe, visit a castle ruin, or even start a Bavarian-based YouTube travel channel just to chronicle how many things you found to do. That was my plan. And if you're near a city, train stations and gas stations are obviously open and usually have small shops in them if you really are in a pinch. Number 4. Germans speak great English, but they appreciate your effort. If you're worried about not speaking German, don't be. Most Germans speak pretty excellent English, especially in cities and the tourist areas. That being said, if you take your time to properly learn some German, people will appreciate it and use it with you. What doesn't work, however, are those 5-minute-a-day quick fix language apps and books of canned phrases. You're simply just not going to be able to learn enough from those things for it to be useful. You'll find everyone speaking English with you anyway, no matter how hard you try. They're just not going to play along. And to be clear, this isn't out of rudeness, just good old German pragmatism. They're choosing the path of least friction for the both of you. However, if you're serious about learning, you'll find many doors open for you. And I really would recommend it. Putting in the effort, knowing more than just the canned phrases, and actually talking to people in their language, not just requiring them to speak yours, is exceptionally gratifying. However, it's also really daunting. It's difficult, no doubt about it, but that is precisely why it's so meaningful. And if that piques your interest, then let me introduce you to this week's video sponsor and genuinely longtime friend of the channel, Lingoda, an online language learning school that offers private and small group language learning lessons all around the clock from their network of excellent teachers. I've never found anything quite so flexible as Lingoda. Teachers from all over the world taking advantage of time zones to mean when you're ready for a lesson, they're ready too. The course structure is also fantastic, highly focused on actionable skills following the internationally recognized CEFA standard. There is no doubt about how wisely your time is being spent here. Personally, I've been using Lingoda myself off and on for years now, and I have no plans of stopping now. It's just too easy to get a good lesson in, even with my hectic schedule. And the results speak for themselves, because before Lingoda, even though I was living in Germany, I barely dared speak German on the channel itself. And now, I do it all the time. And for those of you out there looking for an increased challenge with increased gains, they offer Lingoda Sprints, something else I've also tried, where if you sign up for a 2-month sprint, attending lessons every day or every other day, depending on your choosing, if you actually manage to attend it all and complete the sprint, they will give you direct cash back or free lessons for the future. It's an amazing incentive to really push and get over the edge. So if you actually want to speak a language, Lingoda is one of the best ways out there to do it. Naturally, if you're going to go for it, which I think you should, use our link in the description box below and our code on screen now to let them know that we sent you. Now, really speaking, those were my 4 most important big facts that you should know before planning your German itinerary. How to get around by public transit, that there are so many festivals you're missing out on, everything's closed on Sundays, and don't worry about the language barrier. So now, let's speed up a little bit and move on to the rapid fire section, mini facts to make your life easier. 5. Most restaurants only serve one beer. In the land of beer, counterintuitively, extensive beer menus are not the way. Most traditional restaurants will only serve beer from one brewery and a limited seasonal selection at that. You'll typically find a Helles, the light beer, Dunkles, the dark beer, and if you're lucky, maybe a Weissbier, the wheat beer as well. Plus a festival beer if it's that time of year. No massive menus or extensive options, just high quality German beer from one source per restaurant like 90% of the time. 6. Tap water isn't a thing. Ordering tap water at a restaurant in Germany is uncommon and might get you a confused look. I mean, still try if you want, but it's just not really what people do. Most people drink bottled water, either still, called Stilles, or marked as ohne Kohlensäure, or sparkling water, mit Kohlensäure. As the stereotypes go, sparkling is way more popular, but truth be told, I still haven't acquired a taste for it. 7. Cash is Kaiser. Despite being a modern country, so they tell me, Germany still relies heavily on cash. While major hotels and restaurants accept cards, probably, many cafes, shops, and who knows what else will still only take cash. Bar Geld only. It never ceases to surprise how limited card usage is out here. 8. Vegetarians do need to plan ahead. Germany's food scene leans heavily towards meat, dairy, and bread, especially in rural areas. Big cities like Berlin are a vegetarian and vegan paradise, but the smaller towns and other cities, not so much. If you have any dietary restrictions, unfortunately, you'll need to pack some snacks when heading to the more remote areas. Menus, like the beer, are often similarly limited. Germans know what they like, and that's what's offered. 9. Drinking in public is normal. A weird sight for many Americans, I think, but drinking in public is completely legal. Whether it's enjoying a beer in the park, on the train, or while walking to your next adventure, a Wegbier, as they're called, is totally fine. In fact, when leaving German house parties, I've been offered a beer to take with me on the walk home. 10. Crossing the street, obey the signals. Jaywalking is a big no-no in Germany. Even if the street is empty, locals will wait at a red pedestrian light until it finally, after an agonizingly long wait, will turn green. Breaking this rule might earn you some very disapproving looks or even a fine. You'll stick out like a sore thumb. In general, Germany can be like that. Odd little rules that they take very seriously. And there you have it. Those are my 10 essential things to know before visiting Germany. Hopefully these tips help you feel more like a local when you arrive and keep everything running smoothly. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment with your favorite tip or maybe something I've missed, and subscribe for more travel guides. And remember, we've got tons of videos about Germany, from beer festivals to train travel, so please check those out next. And if you need help with your itinerary, don't forget we offer itinerary checks on our website. And lastly, as always, consider sharing the channel with your friends. It means the world to me growing the Near From Home community organically, and I'll take any help I can get. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, wherever that might be.